Just launch in? All right. You ever wonder how it's possible to feel all alone in a room full of people? It's weird, right? And it doesn't make any sense because we're surrounded. In a world we've never been more connected, studies have shown us that we never feel more alone. And I think the reason is something I like to call the part of me problem. It's this idea that we only ever share part of who we are with those around us. And what's terrible about this is our culture even talks like this, right? We talk about our work friends, our school friends, our hobby friends, our gaming friends. We live in these compartments together. But this is really terrible for our health because God designed us a different way. In fact, in Genesis 3, when God was making us, He says He made us in His image, and that image in its nature is one of community. And then in John 17, right before Jesus' crucifixion, He's praying and He prays for you, and He says His prayer for you is that you would be one as He and the Father are one, this image of beautiful intimacy, one with each other. And then in James 5:16, Jesus' brother, James, takes it one step further, and he says, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so you may be healed. James is inviting us to share all of who we are with one other person because God's ideal life for you is one that is deeply connected to others. And here's the deal. We all started this way as kids, right? Do you want to find out more about a family? Talk to the kids, ask them. They'll overshare everything. But then somebody hurt us. Somebody broke our one life into pieces, and we decided as kids that we would never let one person hurt all of us ever again. So we broke our life into pieces to keep us safe. Imagine right now if the camera zoomed in on just my hand, right? That this was the video you were watching. How weird is this, right? Like, this is gross, but this is what we do. We curate this image of ourselves that shares only a piece. But you, right now, you want more. You want more of who I am. You want more of me in your life, and other people want to see more of you. And this might seem funny, but the consequences are deadly serious. I actually think this is the reason why people end up taking their own lives. In fact, it was for me. When I was in that dark season of despair in my own life, I truly believed that if you really knew all of who I was, you wouldn't love me. So I didn't share, and I felt alone, even though I had people around me that could have loved me. In fact, I was at a funeral for a friend who had committed suicide, and I was agonizing over this very thing and what could I have done and all these things. And while I was sitting there, a poem came to me, and I wrote it down right there in the funeral, and I wanted to share it with you now. I call it One, and it goes like this. When God made you, He made one, not two, not three or four or many more, but one. Formed from the ground, knit together all around, He made one. Not good it was to be alone. A helper was made to share the throne. Then the pain and hurt broke one to two, to three and four, and many more. Personalities split to survive the suffering. Something was needed to provide a buffering. One for work, one for play, one to go and one to stay. So isolated and broken, alone while surrounded, lonely and anxious, depression abounded. But when Jesus came to die for you, He died for one. Not two or three or four or so many more. He came to heal from many more, to three, to four, to two, to one. Not one for work and one for play, one to go or one to stay. Beautiful or broken, hurting or healed, God paid it all so you could be real. Real in the morning, real at night, real when you're terrified or put to flight. No matter your life, broken or bruised, find the strength to be real and stop being abused. Whipped by the lash of expectation, suckered by a world of false expectation. Overcome the lies that shred your one life to ribbons. Find the courage to be real even though it seems hidden. Find the healing you seek in Father and Son and Spirit two, three and yet one. I know where He lives though He seems far away. In people He dwells, His home there to stay. It's in others you will find your healing. So share all you are, every hope, every feeling, every pain, every habit, every stain and its kin. It's in this truth we find love, though we fear to let them in. It's a lie we believe that in this disclosure, our people will leave us, but it's there you'll find closure. To heal from many more to three or four, from 2 to 1 and hear, well done. Don't know where you are today, but I know God's dream for you is to share all of who you are. And so instead of right now calling somebody and vomiting out your whole life on the phone and breaking the intimacy you already have with them by oversharing, I want you to commit for the next year, month, week, day, to in every human interaction, share just past where you're comfortable. Just past where you're comfortable. And 6 months from now, you'll feel more loved, more seen, more connected, and less lonely than you ever thought possible. My name is Jeremy McAllister. Thank you for listening to my short sermon.
Okay, I know. No teary-eyed there.
Whew. I was squeezing it, man.
Dang.
It's hard. It's real life, man.
I wish.